In every abusive relationship, there are warning signs to give us the heads up before the abuse begins. Unfortunately, these signs are often overlooked because the tactics used by the abuser makes it difficult to recognize them. They are also overlooked because most victims are unaware that these warning signs exist. It's usually not until after the abuse, when the victim is reflecting on everything that happened, that they start to recognize the signs they missed in the beginning of the relationship. Well, you might have missed them then, but after listening to this audio, you'll never miss them again. Let's take a moment to talk about 10 commonly missed red flags in abusive relationships. Number 1. Love bombing. Sure, we all get caught up with the puppy love when the relationship is new and exciting. You want to be in each other's presence all the time. But be mindful of someone love bombing you to the point that they're demanding all your time. And if they tend to get upset when you can't make yourself available to them, you should definitely consider walking away. Perhaps running might be a better choice. Number 2, being cruel to parents and or others. Don't just pay attention to how the person treats you. Be mindful of how they treat others as well. Oftentimes, abusers will focus their energy on being overly kind to you because they are trying to win you over. However, that same kindness might not be extended to others. Pay close attention to how they treat parents, siblings, and friends, yours and theirs. Another thing, when you go out to eat or for entertainment, be mindful of how they treat the staff. That matters too. Number 3, poor communication and or secretive behaviors. Of course, you don't want to disclose too much about your personal life in the beginning of a relationship. Those things come in time as you build trust. But don't be confused about a person who has a hard time communicating with you or being open with you. In healthy relationships, there is respect and honesty. There should be no secrets or lies. Having access to each other's social media profiles and other personal information should be mutual. Be watchful of someone who wants access to yours but denies you access to theirs. Couples should be able to rationally and calmly discuss issues within the relationship without fear of judgment or harm. If discussing certain topics causes your partner to become angry and irrational, that is a strong indication that the relationship will later become abusive. Number 4, failure to apologize or fake apologies. We're all human, which means we all make mistakes. Sometimes our actions might be hurtful to the people we love, but how we respond to their emotions is what determines our character. Apologizing for poor or hurtful behavior is the proper response, so be very conscious of a person who will never admit or apologize for their wrongdoings. But apologizing isn't the most important factor. It's what happens after the apology that matters the most. When an apology is sincere, positive changes take place in the person's behavior. However, if a person continues with the same negative behavior after apologizing, it's not an apology, it's manipulation. Number 5, ghosting. One thing is for sure, a man will pursue what he wants, and he will give you exactly what you require of him. That is, if he's really into you. When a man truly loves a woman, she becomes his priority. If a man is not calling you or responding to your messages, giving you excuses for not seeing you, or making you feel like you have to beg or compete for his time and attention, it's because he doesn't want you and he doesn't care. And please do not take this as an offense. Instead, see it as a warning sign that he's not the right man for you. You deserve someone who will go to the ends of the earth to be with you, not someone who will have you jumping through hoops and over hurdles to get their attention. And this doesn't just apply to men, it applies to everyone. If they treat you like an option, you should opt out. Number 6, name calling and or belittling. It's okay to get angry with each other and have disagreements. It happens in every relationship from time to time. How a person handles their anger is what distinguishes whether the anger is healthy or unhealthy. Communicating respectfully is the healthy way to resolve conflict. But if your partner resorts to name calling and belittling you during arguments, this is not okay. Even if they laugh it off as a joke, it's still not okay. Under no circumstances should you be subjected to bullying in a relationship. Also pay close attention to the way they talk about their exes. If they are always belittling their exes and blaming them for everything that went wrong in the relationship, that's a red flag too. Number 7, gaslighting and or guilt trips. Do not trust a person who does wrong and never admits guilt, but always find a way to make everything your fault. And be especially wary of those who try to make you feel guilty for confronting them about their wrongdoings. Oftentimes, abusers are so cunning and manipulative that they will have you questioning your own sensibility. They strategically plot against you and play mind games with you in an attempt to gain control. They deny the truth and accuse you of things they know you didn't do just to get the heat off of themselves. They will often accuse you of the very things they are guilty of doing. Don't fall for it. They're making it all up, and they are doing it intentionally to make you think you're losing it. If you see these signs, it's best to put an end to things. Once you get caught up in their web of lies and deceit, you won't be able to tell if you're coming or going. Number 8, isolation. Abusers will typically isolate their victims to gain control and ensure there is no one around to rescue them from the abuse. They will find fault with your family members and friends and try to convince you that they are all toxic. Now, this is where good judgment is needed. There are some family members who can be extremely negative towards you and your goals. So if your partner is warning you about these people, that's a good thing. However, if you have a long-time healthy friendship with people you know and trust, but your partner starts doing things to push them away, you should be concerned. And if your family relationships begin to suffer as a result of your partner's negative behavior, that's an even greater concern. Be conscious of tactics that force or manipulate you into losing the people and things that matter the most to you. Abusers will trick you into believing they care when all along they are just controlling you. Do not be confused by the two. Number 9, selfish and or stubborn behavior. Abusers live by double standards. They will expect you to accept behaviors from them that they will never be willing to accept from you. They feel if they do certain things, it's okay. If you do those exact same things, it's a life sentence that they'll hold over your head as often as they can. Remember this, there is no room for selfishness or stubbornness in a relationship. If everything about the relationship is based on what they want, what they think, what they say, and how they feel, you're about to find yourself being very disappointed if you don't end it right away. Healthy relationships are not one-sided. They are based on mutual honesty, trust, respect, and understanding. If either of these factors is missing, the relationship will do you more harm than good. Number 10, disregarding your feelings. There's nothing more frustrating than saying the same thing to the same person over and over again and still getting no results. But this is what life is like with an abuser. Everything is about them. They have no respect for your boundaries or anything that matters to you. Every time you try to talk to them about their hurtful behavior, they act as if they don't understand. They will tell you that you're overreacting or that it's all in your head. And every time you approach the issue, they will pretend as if you are having the discussion for the very first time, as if they have absolutely no knowledge of the promises they made to change all the other times you discuss this same issue. They do this intentionally to dodge accountability. They do not want to know how you feel because they don't care. They will not change their way of doing things because they don't want to. As long as they are getting what they want, that's all that matters to them. One more thing. Look out for the financial abuse too. When they will spend any amount of money to do whatever they want, but when it comes to you, they make you feel bad for wanting to spend money. It's as if they don't want to see you do anything good for yourself. The only way to change anything with this person is for you to change the way you deal with them. Let them go and move on. After hearing descriptions about these red flags and the examples of each one, do you recognize them now? Even as you were listening, you were probably thinking to yourself how familiar it all sounds. Well, the good thing is that you are now aware of the red flags and will be prepared if you ever see them again. For now, let's focus on you moving forward and going to the next level of healing. After all, that's what this is all about. What I need you to do now is consider what you've heard in the audio. Then make a list of the red flags you missed in the beginning stages of your abusive relationship. Be sure to send the list to me within 48 hours. We will review and discuss it during our next session. Take care. I'll see you soon.